welcome to my channel Books and Other Wild Dreams. I'm Aishwarya and today I am going to talk about how was my November. I loved this month. It was a really good month. I read so many books. Oh my god. I read so many books. Finally, my reading slump was over. I read so many books and I am really very happy. So let's get on with the video. So November was really stunning and beautiful. It had one of my most favorite festival, Diwali. I love Diwali a lot. Diwali was on 4th November and wow, it was a really great time and experience for me. I have loved Diwali ever since I was a child. You know, all the lights and all the diyas. You know, every nook and corner is bright and beautiful. And then there is sweets, and I love sweets. So yes, it was my favorite festival, and I loved it. The other great thing that happened in November was Taylor Swift dropping Red. I mean, wow, that album blew my mind. Have you seen All Too Well? That 10-minute song was amazing, awesome, brilliant. I mean, wow, it was really great. I love the film also. And then we got another video, I Bet You Think About Me, and I was like, wow, we are really blessed. And I love Taylor Swift. If you have not understood by now, I love Taylor Swift. I love her songs. So yes, it was really great listening a 10-minute song of All Too Well. Okay, next I want to discuss about all the movies or TV series that I saw in the month of November. Now first, let's get on with the list. I want to say about, let me take a sip, Squid Games. I saw Squid Games finally. I started it and I finished it. I thought my cup was falling down. So yes, I started it and I finished it, and obviously it was great. It was brilliant. The plot was good, the characters, and it has become a worldwide sensation. Not the K-drama that I'm used to, because you know, if you're a K-drama fan, you would understand what I'm saying, because K-dramas are really soft and really down and really, you know, but not this K-drama. I'm especially not used to this because I watch so much romantic, I would say, K-dramas, or I saw Vincent's also, and this Squid Games was totally something different than the K-dramas that I have seen and I have watched, and yeah, it was a different experience for me. But I like Squid Games, and I don't have to say it, it's all out there, the world is crazy for it. If you have not seen it, go and watch it. Okay, so the next movie, I found it on Netflix, and I'm really glad that I found it. I was just surfing around Netflix, you know. I think that I actually waste more time on Netflix by just looking at the trailers of movies than actually watching it, because it is really difficult for me to choose what to watch on Netflix. I don't know if this happens with you or not, because it has been happening with me. Like, it is really difficult to choose what to watch. So I stumbled upon this great movie, I would say, and this was Love and Monsters. Now it has Dylan O'Brien, the one who was in All Too Well video of Taylor Swift, and that is one of the other reasons I just thought, okay, I will watch this movie. So yet it has Dylan O'Brien. Now Dylan, I don't remember the name of his character. So the premise of the story is that the earth is filled with monsters now. So once there was a comet coming on the earth, and the scientists and the people, they sent a rocket down to the comet to destroy it. But what happened was the chemical from the rocket fell down back on the earth, and every little creature turned into a giant monster. Now that's a nightmare. Can you imagine if a cockroach turned into a giant monster and tried to eat you? It's a disaster and it's a nightmare for me. So that's what happened. You know, the earth is filled with monsters, and all the little creatures has turned into this big creature who is trying to eat you. So people are forced to live down underground in bunkers. You know, there are bunkers all around, and they all are living underground. They cannot live on the surface. So Dylan's character, you know, the story is continuing, and Dylan's character, he ventures out of his bunker to meet his girlfriend who is living like miles away, and he is going to her, you know, because he is tired of living underground in the bunkers, and he is trying to go to her, meet her, and what ensues is an adventure and a really great story. I loved it. It was amazing, and you should watch it too. So the next movie I saw was The Mitchells versus the Machines, and I laughed out loud so many times while watching this movie. It was really good. I would 100% recommend this movie. So the Mitchells are a dysfunctional family, and they are going on a road trip to drop their daughter Katie to college. Now what happens is that machines have taken over the planet, and they are capturing the humans, and the Mitchells are our only hope for the humanity. So the movie is really great. I love the animation. I really like the animation, and it was really great. Made me laugh, made me, you know I have not laughed so much while watching an animation movie, so I really liked it. You should totally go ahead and watch it. It's 100% approved by me. I also saw Red Notice, and if I think everyone knows about this, everyone has seen the trailer. It's Ryan Reynolds, Gal Gadot, and Rock is there in the movie, and they are really awesome. And I would say that Ryan Reynolds is my favorite in this movie. His comedy, his comic timing, everything is amazing and brilliant. I actually liked most of the movie because of him. Like the scene where he is not in the movie, I did not like it, but he is amazing in the movie. You should totally watch it. There is action, there is comedy, and there is Gal Gadot, and I really like Gal Gadot also. So you should totally watch it. I recommend it. So now let's get on with the books. I have read so many books, and I want to speak about them, and I will also make different videos on these books, I would say, but I also want to include them all here, that what I have read this month. So I read this short novel called Not Playing Fair. This is actually a part of series called the Not series, written by Terry Osborne. So I read the first one also, and I did the review on my Instagram. That was Not You Again, and that was actually my favorite book as of yet. Actually, 2 books are out yet, and I love that Not You Again. I'm just confusing the name. Not You Again. I really liked that book. It was really, really good. I was not expecting that much out from it because it was a short novel. I thought it was just going to be romantic, but the grief that was mentioned in the book, that really tugged my heart, and I really, really liked that book. So I read the second book this month. It was Not Playing Fair, and it was about the second friend. Actually, there is going to be 5 books on the 5 friends, and the first one was there, then this was the second one. Now I'm going to read the blurb of the book. First, my new boss says changes are coming to our library that threaten the programs I run. Then a letter arrived from my mother, whom I haven't seen in more than 20 years, saying who knows what because I'm refusing to open it. Last but not least, the man who dumped me 8 months ago is telling people that I'm trying to get him back. Universe, I assure you, I'm not. The one bright spot in all this is the new guy in my life. He's sweet, adorable, and seems totally interested. There's just one problem. I might have bent the truth a little when we first met, and now I need to confess before he finds out from someone else. Maybe I can't blame the universe for everything. So this is about family, forgiveness, and the friends who stand us through all. And this is about the second friend, Megan. She's a librarian, and she's the heroine of her second book. The first book was also on one other friend. So the 5 books are there, and 5 books are going to be there, and all the books are going to focus on one friend. And the friendship of these girls are really very heart-touching. I would say they stand through each other, and in the first book also you get to see all of them. Here also you're getting to see them, and the first book, the couple that was mentioned there, they are here also, and how their story is and how they are. It's really, really good, and I like stories. I like series who focuses on one, but they all are friends like that. So I really liked it. But obviously I would say that first book one was my favorite. The second book was also really good, but I kind of had high expectations as I love the first one so much. So yeah, but this one was also good. Next, I read To Love Jason Thorne, on which I have already done a video, and as I've said in the video also, I really love the book. So the book is about Olive and Jason. They are not kind of childhood friends, but Jason is actually Olive's elder brother's friend. They live in the same neighborhood, and Olive had a huge crush on him ever since she saw him in the the first time she saw him in her house, she had a crush on him, and but Jason was not like that. He did not see her more than just his friend's younger sister. But years later, Jason is an actor, and Little Olive is a writer, and she has written this best-selling novel that is going to be made into a movie. And just guess who is going to be the actor in that? Obviously, Jason Thorne. Something or the other goes wrong in Jason's life, and the fake marriage trope comes there. They get fake married, and their stories ensues from that point onwards. I don't want to give much. You should totally read it if you are into romance. If you love the fake dating trope, elder brothers friend trope, and childhood friend also. I would say they are childhood friends also. So totally read this book. And I would say the spice in the second part of the book was OMG. I really liked it, really loved it, and I've done a video on this. If you want, you can go ahead and see the full detailed review there. Next, I read The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, and wow, that was another great romance read that I read this month, and it was really good, and I'm going to read the blurb of the book. So Vanessa Mazur knows she's doing the right thing. She shouldn't feel bad for quitting. Being an assistant housekeeper, fairy godmother to the top defensive end in the National Football Organization was always supposed to be temporary. She has plans, and none of them include washing extra large underwear longer than necessary. But when Aidan Graves shows up at her door wanting her to come back, she's beyond shocked. For 2 years, the man known as the Wall of Winnipeg couldn't even find it in him to tell her good morning or congratulate her on her birthday. Now, he's asking for the unthinkable. Wow. So this book was really great, really amazing. You should read it. Please go ahead and read it. It's on Kindle Unlimited now. That's how I read it, because the books cost a bomb. Yeah. So it's on Kindle Unlimited. Go ahead and read it. Totally. If you love romance trope, just read it. The slow burn in this book will touch your heart, and it will, wow, it was really amazing. So as you heard from the blurb of the book, Vanessa was an assistant to Aidan Graves. He is an NFL player, national football player, and he's really good player, but he does not talk to anyone. He does not like socializing. He does not have friends. He just likes to keep in himself, and he does not want to socialize, does not want to talk to people, and so much so that he never wished her good morning or happy birthday. Never any of those things. But now, when Vanessa has quit her job, she finds the tall 6-feet giant sitting on her doorstep telling her to come back. But there is a catch that I'm not going to tell you, so you should go ahead and read it. And I also want to say that I'm going to do a full review. That's why I'm not saying anything right now. I want to do a full review because I love this book so much, so yes. Next, I started 2 series. I told you, I have read so much this month that I cannot even, I am reading so much. So I'm really glad that I'm reading so much. So I started 2 series. The first one was the Maid series, and the other one is the Devil's Night series. So the Maid series has 3 books, and it is written by Daniel Laurie. Now the 3 books are The Sweetest Oblivion, The Maddest Obsession, and The Darkest Temptation. I just forget their name, that is why I had to look down, because I keep forgetting their name. I mix up, I would say The Darkest Oblivion or The Maddest Temptation, and then no, it was Darkest Temptation. I don't know why I always mix their names. So yes, it was The Sweetest Oblivion, The Maddest Obsession, and The Darkest Temptation. And I read the first and the third one, The Sweetest Oblivion and The Darkest Temptation. And you must be thinking, why did she skip the second book? Because these books can be read as a standalone. I have read and I know, because there is nothing that is missing. It can be read as a standalone, and yes, you can read it in a series, because then you will get to see the characters in the first book also, second book also, third book also. But I read it as a standalone because I read the first book, was not kind of that interested, and the second book was on a character that was in the first book, and I did not want to like read her story. Kind of, I did not like, it was meh for me, and I thought, okay, I'll read the third one because I kind of like the blurb. She was kidnapped like that. I was kind of like the blurb, so yes, I read the third one. Okay, so I would first like to say that there are tons of trigger warnings for these books. If you want to read these books, please see the trigger warnings and then go ahead with the book, because you don't know what you'll get into the books and that you will not like. So yes, there are tons of trigger warnings because this is mafia romance. This is through and through mafia romance. So the aggressiveness or the bullying I would say, or the forcing of things, that would not be appreciated by many people. And I would again say this is a dark romance, so yes, there would be things that are not appropriate and people would not like to read it. So please see the trigger warnings before reading it. I also read two other mafia romance which I was not that good for me. Like, it was like meh for me. It's good if you are into mafia romance, because I read the Maid series also, and yeah, I like the third book. I would say there are tons of trigger warnings, I'm saying, and tons of things that are not appropriate, but I still liked it. Yeah, still liked it. I don't know why, but I read two other mafia romance because I got excited for mafia romance. I have not read this genre before, I would say, but they were okayish. Like, not bad, not too good for me, but yeah, they were okayish. And I read Alliance and Jian, if that's how you pronounce it. And lastly, I actually started reading the Devil's Night series by Penelope Douglas. Like, I have not read any book by Penelope Douglas, and I have heard that she's great. I really want to read Punk 57 because I've heard such great things about the books. So I started with the Devil's Night series. It is on Kindle Unlimited again. So again, for this book, I would say that there are tons and tons of trigger warnings. This is dark romance, people. If you are not into this stuff, do not read it, because as I said, there are tons of trigger warnings. There are so many things that are really not appropriate and really would not go down well with many people, because it happened with me. I started Corrupt way before, and then like something happened in the book and I was like, not for me, and I kept it away. And I read To Love Jason Thorne and The Wall of Winnipeg, and then I heard so many things about Corrupt and the entire Devil Knight series that I thought that, okay, let's just maybe give it a chance and maybe read it. And I'm still reading it. I'm in the process. I've not completed it, but I would again say there are trigger warnings. Please look into it and then start reading it. So I find out what is actually the correct order to read the entire Devil series, and it was first is Corrupt, then is Hideaway, then comes Kill Switch, then there is a novella in the between called Conclave, then there is Nightfall, and the last one is Fire Night. That is again a novella, a short novella. The actual main novels, or the actual main book in the series, are 4, and in between there are 2 short novellas. So the story is about the 4 horsemen, 4 best friends, and they live in this city whose name I have forgotten, and they all are rich, very rich, filthy rich, and they are kind of a prankster, and they don't care about rules and mostly about people, and they do anything they like, and they get away with it because they are rich, their fathers are rich, and no one would say anything to them. But on this Devil Night, which is the night before Halloween, something happens 3 years ago. Actually, the story from where the Corrupt is starting, something happened 3 years ago which led the 3 of the horsemen in the prison. They were in prison because something happened on the Devil's Night 3 years ago, and they all went to prison. And that is from where the story in the Corrupt is starting. And each book in this series about each horseman and their relationship with the girl, because they are rude, they are very bad, I would say, or they don't care mostly about people. But there is one girl, just one girl, who makes their heart go faster, I would say. And there is one girl for whom they all are weak. For each of them there is just one girl. So this is how the story goes on. Each book is about each horseman and their story or their love with the girl. And yeah, it's a dark romance, people. I have started reading Corrupt, and as I said, I stopped in the middle, but I'm still going on and I'm still giving it a chance because I've heard so many good things about the series that I really want to finish it and I really want to see. So yes, I'm going to finish it and I'm going to make a video on it also. So yes, you will get to know my views on it completely then. That's it from me today, guys. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, then please do give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. It would mean a lot to me. And yes, I will see you next time. Till then, goodbye. Take care.